Hey, hello, you're stuck in traffic with Wolf Gorlick. A few minutes riffing on IT and IT security. Today, looking at ad networks and how they're using your email address to figure out who you are on the web because of single sign-on. Back in the day, maybe about 10 years ago now, I did a single sign-on project. And if you were fortunate or unfortunate enough to do single sign-on back in the day, you probably remember this. There was a lot of regex. I hate regex. I still have nightmares, wake up in cold sweats thinking about regex. A lot of regex to recognize the process name, to recognize the text inputs, to stream on the information, right? We'll do the regex pattern and match it. Now, if it was a website, it was even easier. If it was a website with HTML, piece of cake. It just looked for the input fields and the URL, and when it matched, streamed on in that username and password, bada boom, bada bing, single sign-on. This is also, of course, how web browsers, single sign-on applications, and password stores pretty much work today. So the tip for you is this. Ad networks are using that very same feature, or misusing that very same feature, to figure out who you are. Even if your privacy settings are on, even if your cookies are flushed, if you've got one of these browser login credentials, networks like Adthink and OnAudience can figure out who you are. What these networks are doing is they're presenting a login page. It looks like a login page. It is a login page. It's HTML, just like the browser would expect, except for it's hidden to us users. So the browser sees this, goes, you might want to log into this. Poof, passes on in the email address. It's hidden, user doesn't know. A network then takes that, backend sends it, and then they can track you, right? It's not a cookie. It is simply your password, or rather your email address streamed on in. Not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Now, how often is this happening? With the Princeton researchers, Princeton University for the Center of IT looked at this. They did it. They pulled a list of Alexa's top sites, and they found about 1 in 5 sites were doing this. Right. So around 1,000 of the sites they checked. No, I'm sorry. They checked 50,000 sites, and about 1,000 of them were actually doing, about 1 in 5. We're doing this fake login prompt to harvest your email address. What can you do to prevent it? Well, there's a couple pages you can block. If you pull up the study, they actually list them. One is from behaviorengine.com. But look at the study if you're going to block it. You can block those pages on your firewall and make sure that they don't pull up. Now, that's kind of like the hammer approach. Another way to prevent this is, of course, not using the browser's built-in username and password function, because we know there's a whole bunch of other problems with that function in just about every browser, from Chrome to Firefox to Edge to Internet Explorer. There's always problems with these things. So the other way to prevent it is by leveraging any number of password keepers and making sure that they don't stream things in without your approval. So that that is the story. I thought that was kind of neat, because it's yet another case of common functionality, things we use all the time that we think are absolutely just fine, but in the eyes of an ad network or a criminal can be misused, right? And in this particular case, Adthink and OnAudience noticing this feature and then leveraging it to harvest emails. How about you? What do you think? See anything like this? What would you do to stop it? Hit me up in comments or social media. Cheers.